Yesterday, the world newest country was born when thousands of people gathered in Leicester Square, London, to witness its naming and to meet the man they now consider their king. And what is the name of the new country? I heard you cry. The world newest nation is called Lovely. 6 months ago, 20-year-old Danny Wallace, who earned his living as a TV comics and ideas man, had a great idea. What if he started his own country and invited anyone who wanted to join him to become a citizen? So, naming himself King Danny I and declaring his one bedroom flat in East London an independent state. He set about taking the necessary steps to make his dream come true. He documented his progress in BBC Two series How to Start Your Country, which comes to the end of its 6 weeks run on Wednesday. Over the 6 weeks, Danny explored the practicalities of forming your own country. The first thing on his agenda was to hand in his Declaration of Independence to the Prime Minister at number 10. With this out of the way, he was free to start thinking about things such as writing a constitution and setting up a government. Then he was able to sing his own flag and record his own national anthem. He even got someone to sing possible postage stamp for Lovely with his face on them. Much of his time was spent traveling the world meeting politicians and dignitaries to hear their views and what it means to govern a country. He also took advice from a cardinal at the Vatican and from the linguist and philosopher Noam Chomsky on the nature of democracy. After a trip to the row in the USA and a moving interview with an inmate, Danny decided against the death penalty for Lovely. For economic advice, Wallace decided the chief cashier of the Bank of England. He decided to create a brand new currency, which he called the Independent Occupational Unit (EO). However, you can't open a bank account or take out a loan in Lovely and forget trying to draw out euros with a cash card for the simple reason that there aren't any banks there. The EU is part of much more casual economy, free from things such as interest rates. It's based on the phrase time is money. You basically do something for someone and they'll do something later for you. Along the way, Danny also met with several disappointments. In one episode, Danny traveled to New York to try and get his country recognized by the United Nations. Unfortunately, his request was ultimately turned down because of his lack of an independent territory. Although Danny had bought his flat, he had not purchased the land on which it stands. So officially, its headquarters belonged to the UK. But what disappointed Danny most of all was being refused entry to the Eurovision Song Contest with a song he especially recorded called Stop the Mugging and Start the Hugging. The reason he was given was that, since his country had no radio or TV station, he could not become a member of the European Broadcasting Union. The final thing Danny had to do was to find a name for his country. At his request, citizens sent in thousand suggestions as to what this country could be called. It ranged from Flatland and Wallaceland, specific to United Kingdom and Dantopia. Someone even suggested calling the country France, but in the end, the final selection came down to just two, Home or Lovely, and it was the citizens who made the final decisions. aiming to become the most democratic democracy in the world. King Danny achieved a war first and let the people decide. Lovely won the final vote. With more than 58,000 citizens, Lovely is officially larger than the Vatican, San Marino, Monaco, Liechtenstein, but whether the country will continue to grow will very much depend on who bossy its creator is. And as Danny Wallace is much in demand for several other projects, it might fall to other members of his government to keep things running. But with election promised every 6 months, the creation of the University of Lovely and several sporting events including a Scalextrix Grand Prix planned over the coming weeks. There are plenty of activities to keep the citizens of Lovely occupied for quite yet.